fire you questions. So, who are you with?
Am I unmuted?
Yeah, I can hear you on here now.
You hear me on here? Okay,
Yeah.
so
You should hear it one side. So, is this piece not a speaker? No. Oh, okay. All right. So I can put that anywhere. Yeah. You're live, buddy.
welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to ASTV Productions coverage of Session 2, Day 2 of the Manitoba Junior Provincials 2022 swim meets. I'm your play-by-play commentator, Graham Forsyth, joined by Bo. Bo, I didn't catch your last name. How are you doing on this Saturday watching some swimming here at the Pan Am Pool?
Well, thank you. It's Paul West here. I got kids swimming with the Mantle Swim Club and a son with the St. James Seals. Happy to be here.
So you got a son with Manta as well as the St. James Seals. So are you involved with both clubs?
I am, yeah. Yeah, here we go. First swim at Tufts in the 200 mixed relay here. 24-7-7, center. We've got second swimmers in the water, so this is a mixed event with 2 boys and 2 girls. We've got the Marlins out for an early lead here. We've got Manta following them over in lane 7. Manta, second Manta team in lane number 2.
So there are 5 teams out there right now. In the lead at this point in lane 3 is Matthew McKay for the Manitoba Marlins team, and the Manitoba Marlins team out in front right now with a huge lead at this point. In second at this point is the Manta team in lane 2. Currently swimming is Walker Wilson. But
It's an interesting event. So we got boys and girls, and in the relays you might come out to an early lead if you put your top 2 swimmers first, and then you put your 2 slower swimmers at the end. So anything can happen here. Could end up being a lot closer than it is. We got the third swimmer in the water They're holding on to a strong lead. We got Manta in lane 7 coming in for second place. That looked like a real close takeover. Manta's other team in lane 2 here. Okay, the Marlins second team is finishing in. This is a...
And in the third lane, the Manitoba Marlins lane in the third lane is currently in 4th place. Ty Unrow now is...
Ty in for the finish, yeah. A 1:45.37 strong swim here for the Marlins. Manta coming in strong in the second place. Lane 7, 1:55.82. And you got a Manta 14 and under team with Riley and Glore finishing with a 2:01.29. Marlins 13 and under team coming in a 2:08 with Marley Wong finishing strong. And then we got the Dolphin Swim Club here coming in lane number 6 with Kate Liebrecht finishing in 2:19.
So there you have it. Ty Unrow finishing strong for the Manitoba Marlins club in the... We will be moving on to the next race soon here, and it will be the event coming up, the girls 400 meter individual medley. There will be 8 swimmers in this race here coming up. What do you say your favorite event is here, Bo? What do you say? You got a variety of favorite events, or is there one in particular?
I'm actually a big fan of this event here. The 400 AM coming up. This event, you got to be well-rounded. You got to be strong in every stroke. It's going to be interesting to watch because you're going to watch some that are really strong in breaststroke. They're going to come on really well in the third 100. They might be behind after the backstroke. So you're going to see a lot of position changes here. But this, what you got here, swimmers that are very well-rounded and very fit. So in order to do this event, you really got to work hard, and you got to be able to do all 4 strokes extremely well. So this will be fun to watch.
And in lane 4, Emma Sywake, she has the best time coming in as her seed time. 5:42.25 seconds is her time, and the swimmers are off.
Yeah, we're watching for everybody to come up before the 15-meter mark, and they all did. Beautiful stroke here. You got to have simultaneous arm movements above and below the water.
And currently it is Emma Sywake slightly in the lead over the girl in lane 5, who is Abby DeBelen.
Yeah, Abby DeBelen is 15 years old. She's hanging on, trying to keep up with Emma here, coming into the first 50.
Powerful strokes from both Emma and Abby here, but it's still Emma Sywake who is out in front, gaining a bit more distance ahead of Abby DeBelen. And of course, a lot of Manta Swim Club members out here today, Bo, and just this weekend in general. A lot of swim clubs in general. How nice is it to see as many swim clubs as we have here with these swimmers representing? Yeah, no, it's nice. To be honest, I would have liked to see a few more. It's been a tough couple of years, especially for some of the younger age groups. Really, we should have had a look at these time standards, probably easing it up, giving kids a chance to be here. A lot of kids have worked hard through this pandemic, deserved a chance to be here, but these time standards haven't been adjusted. They probably should have been, because we got a pretty thin field, especially for the 10 and unders, so it's something that needs to be looked at by the Federation. We're on the backstroke here. Emma's hung on to her lead. Watch for Abby in the breaststroke. Abby DeBelen is a strong breaststroker, so watch her try to hang on in the backstroke event. And when coming in the breaststroke, see if she can make her move. We got Manta. We got Manta. Bryn Curtis, 14-year-old from Manta, over in lane 8, making her move. Strong backstroker. She's moving up in the field. We got Michaela Erpello, former provincial champion actually in the 50 backstroke in lane 2. Michaela is making her move in backstroke as well. And it's still Emma Sywake who is out in front, followed by, it appears now, Bryn Curtis has taken a bit of a lead over Abby DeBelen. And it will be interesting to see how this race shapes up as they do different strokes throughout this race. But they are currently on the backstroke, and it is Emma Sywake who is still out in front. Nice push off of the wall as she heads back to where they about started. Strong dolphin kick by Michaela here in lane number 2. She's moving into the lead now. Let's see if she can hang on in the breaststroke. She was former Winnipeg Wave Swim Club. Moved over to the Seals. Winnipeg Wave closed down a couple of years ago. Now with the Seals. Let's see how she does in the breaststroke. Watch for Abby DeBellen in lane number 5 to make her move here.
expect her to really move up in the field.
And it was Emma Sywake who was the leader for the first part of this race, really, but it is now in lane 2, as mentioned, Michaela Urpello, who currently has the lead. Abby DeBelen making a strong move, as she is currently in third here in this race. In the 8th lane, it's Bring Curtis as well. That is also making up some good ground, but it is currently Michaela Urpello in front right now, just ahead of Emma Sywake.
Ariel Patz in lane number 3 from the Marlins, making her move as well. But you're going to see Abby DeBellen come in here. She's going to finish second at the 50 for the breaststroke event here. But she's going to make a move, probably try to take over the lead here from her teammate, Michaela, on the second half of the breaststroke.
And it is Abby DeBellen making moves, gaining some ground on her teammate in Michaela Urpello. And it is Emma Sywake who has fallen behind just a bit. And strong performance here as the heat has gone along by the girl in lane 5 and Abby DeBellen.
Yeah, watch for Ariel Patz really making her move here. 14-year-old Ariel Patz from the Marlins in lane number 3. Moving up, but it's Abby DeBellen with a strong lead after the breaststroke here. Let's see if she can hang on in freestyle.
Now it's into the freestyle. Abby DeBellen.
Abby DeBellen turning with a 3-second lead. See if the Marlins can chase her down.
In the 3rd lane, it's Ariel Pattis now who's making some good moves. But it's still Abby DeBellen out in front, followed by the girl in lane 3 and Ariel Pattis. And Ariel Pattis with a strong performance here so far in the freestyle portion of the 400-meter individual medley for the girls.
We got the youngest swimmer in the field here, Emma Harvey, just making her move. 13-year-old, another 13-year-old in lane 7. Zoe Davis Weitzel from Manta, 5 years younger than some of these swimmers. So it's a wide range of ages we got here. Very tough event. And really close race for the gold here between lane number 5. Let's see who's got in the last 25. Ariel Patz really making her move, coming on strong, real strong kick, keeping her head down, looking over.
Ariel Pattis looking to finish it strong here, and she does.
Caught up those 3 seconds.
In second is Abby DeBellen. In third, Emma Sywake, the oldest girl out of this heat at 18 years old.
And everybody dropping times here, everybody doing best times. It's great to see. Really strong swim for all 5 of these that finished so far. Got lane number 7. Zoe coming in for the finish. Zoe with best time of 6:13, huge drop. 16-second drop, very good swim. We got Valencia in lane number 1 from the Marlins, 14-year-old Valencia. Best time of 6:21, coming in 6:07, another great swim. And Emma Harvey in lane number 6. Time is not up here yet, but the 6:15, a little bit off her best. Let's see if she can come back later this weekend in some other events.
And coming up in this race, there's going to be 6 swimmers from the 2nd lane to the 7th lane. 1st lane and 8th lane will be unoccupied. But Bo, I mean, looking at it, so many young swimmers out there this weekend. How nice is it to see the talent that there is out there this weekend from these swimmers, as young as they are?
Yeah, so what you're looking at here is for the 10 and under age group, this is the provincial championship. There's no restrictions on who can compete. The fastest swimmers can be here. When you move in the 11 and over at this event, this is the junior provincial. So if you are qualified for the Manitoba Saskatchewan combined provincial championship coming up in 3 weeks, you actually overqualify for this event. It means you can't swim that particular event at this meet here this weekend if you have the Manitoba Saskatchewan ManSas qualifying standards. So these swimmers here are all trying to get that time standard so they can compete in 3 weeks at ManSas, which is a big event, which is right here in Winnipeg as well. We got a lot of Saskatchewan teams coming in. Sometimes we got teams coming from other provinces as well. It's an open championship. But let's see if these guys can get under that standard.
And it is Natty Vaserman who is currently out in front, and a strong performance by him so far. He's in lane 4, and lane 5 right behind him is Harlem Lowe. And
yeah, powerful butterfly coming into the 100 here. Very strong out in the 103. Strong lead off
And this event is the boys 400-meter individual medley. And the oldest swimmer in this group is Theo Perry, who is in lane 3. Coming up here on the way back. And on the backstroke in that portion of things now, it is still Natty Vaserman out in front and Harlem Lowe keeping pace with him. But Natty Vaserman with a strong performance so far here, Bo.
Yeah, really strong in the butterfly and the backstroke. Great turn in there, a couple of dolphin kicks. You can go as far as 15 meters underwater in the dolphin kick underwater. And if you're a really strong dolphin kicker, that's actually faster than swimming in the surface. So you see the best swimmers in the world, they really take advantage of that. They do the dolphin kick underwater, come up right with the head at the black markers, the 15-meter line. You know, these kids obviously have a little bit of work to do, but they're working on it. You see them trying the 3-4 dolphin kicks off the wall, and it really helps them if you're good at it. If you're not strong on the underwater, well, you want to come up and swim.
And it is currently Natty Vaserman in lane 4, still in first place in this heat. As I believe now they will now go into the...
We're going into the breaststroke. Actually, it looks very strong for Natty here as well. Sometimes in the IM, the breaststroke is sort of the weak point for a lot of these swimmers. It's one of those strokes as if your feet and your knees aren't built for this, it's a very difficult stroke to do. Technically, probably the hardest stroke out there. So a lot of things can happen in the IM in the breaststroke length.
Making his move into third in lane 6 is Mahinder Singh, but it's still Natty Vaserman out in front in first, and of course in lane 5 behind him is Harlem Lowe. Will be interesting to see how Harlem Lowe finishes this race, if he's able to gain some ground on Natty Vaserman, but Vaserman having a very strong performance so far.
Yeah, he's got a 4.5 second lead here now. It's going to be very, very difficult to catch him, but there's a strong there's the battle going on here for the bronze medal for the third place between a couple of teammates. We got 5 Marlin swimmers in here out of 6, and we got Jerome Timbuk. Jerome got his Western Canada Championship qualifying standard at the last meet, so he's moving on to swim in Edmonton in Western Canadian Championships at the end of April. Really is strong up-and-coming swimmer for the Shield. We're excited about what he's doing over there. He's making his move here in the breaststroke as well. A really, really close race for third place. Nobody's catching Natty Vaserman here. He is way out in front.
A quick stroke there from Natty Vaserman on the freestyle portion of this individual medley.
7/100ths of a second right now separating lane number 2, that is Evan Stebner, from lane number 6, which is Mahinder Singh. It looks like Evan off to the stronger freestyle in the first 25 here, now separating himself for that third place.
And a strong push off the wall there from Evan Stebner, as he is, like said, currently, and I believe he's in 4th or 3rd place at this point.
Yeah. Natty Vaserman trying to lap his teammate here. He's never going to hear the end of that if he succeeds. Coming in the last 25.
And Natty Vaserman tries to catch that teammate to lap him, but he's going to be just happy to get this win, of course, with his strong performance.
Run out of real estate. He's keeping his head down, powering into the wall. Really strong swim. 4:53. Fantastic time by Natty Vaserman here. Harlem now with 5:00, also a 32-second best time. These guys are dropping big times here. That's fantastic to see.
Evan Stebner coming in at 3rd. Mahinder Singh coming in at 4th. Jerome Timpug coming in at 5th. And it will be Theo Perry in the 3rd lane coming in at last.
We see these swimmers dropping almost a minute in some of these best times. It's fantastic, but it tells you a little bit about the lack of swim meets we've had this season and last season. But certainly happy that these guys stuck with it through this pandemic and drop in big times here, and we should be seeing these guys again in 3 weeks at the Mansas Championships right here in Winnipeg.
And with the pandemic there, Bo, I mean, with the restrictions that were in place, of course, swimmers couldn't be in the pool as often as they would have liked to be in normal times. But how did that affect the way that these swimmers train here during the COVID-19 pandemic?
Yeah, it's been really tough. The pool, we've had extended pool closures. Federation was able to get some of our highest level swimmers who were going to trials last year. It's able to get them into the water. But you had a whole pool open here, 50-meter pool, huge facility open, and we had 3 swimmers in the water. I mean, it was really kind of sad state of affairs. But these other swimmers had to be creative. You know, some of them are going for the run or figuring out how to do weights and sit-ups at home and Zoom meetings, and the coach has done a great job of trying to get these kids to stick with it. It's been a difficult time. So we're happy to have them back. We're swimming in chlorine, so we feel fairly safe. Yeah.
This is currently the girls 100-meter butterfly event, the first heat out of 3. Currently in the lead in lane 2 is Laura Hodges.
Laura Hodges, one of the top swimmers out of the Manitoba Marlins. This must not be one of her better events because she is normally overqualified for this meet. She's very, very strong in the freestyle and backstroke events. Butterfly maybe not one of her best strokes, but at this level here, she's still dominating. Coming into the finish here, see if Laura can do a best time. I'm pretty sure she will enter into the 1:18.
And coming in at first, Laura Hodges. In at second is Kea Joel. In third, in the 5th lane, is Elsa Saltel. In 4th, Abby Torrance, who was in the 3rd lane. In 5th was, taking a look at
place, it was
Tabitha Haffenbrack
from Manta.
But we are now on to the second heat here coming up. 8 swimmers will be in this event, so a full pool of swimmers coming up for this one, Bo.
Yeah, we got 5. We got 5 Manta swimmers, strong representation here. Keep an eye on lane number 2. That's Quinn Snively from Manta. Quinn got her Western qualifying standards in the 200 breaststroke recently, so she'll be going to Edmonton again here in the end of July. She's trying out the butterfly at this meet. Not her best event. She's made a lot of improvements. We got Michaela Erpello that we just saw in the 400 IM. This is a tough double coming back for the 100 butterfly here. She's taking it a little bit relaxed in the first 50, probably trying to recover from that 400 IM. Let's see what she's got in the back half.
And a close race so far. It looks like Manta's Bridget Sage is in first place right now, but a very close race so far. These swimmers in this heat specifically the leader not being able to get a lot of separation so far here.
Well, we got the 2 sisters actually, Bridget and Charlotte Sage from Manta Swim Club duking it out. It looks like Charlotte is taking over here, the lead at the 75, but it's a really close rate. Michaela, after the 400 IM, she'll come in for a really strong finish. Let's see if she can catch up. Wow, what a tough double.
And it's looking like lane 5 is looking good. And that
looks
is
like
Charlotte Sage.
Charlotte's going to hang on.
And
it's coming down to the wall.
Will get the win here.
3 100ths of a second.
Slightly edging out Michaela Erpello in the 4th lane. Terrific heat there for these swimmers.
Yeah. Michaela just took it a little too easy probably on the first 50. Charlotte was able to build that lead and hang on right to the end. But great race.
And the endurance there. Key, especially, for 100, this 100 meter, even though it's a shorter race than some. Good endurance there from.
Now we're on the 3rd and last heat. We've got another 400 IM girl in Abby DeBellin. Now right back into the 100 butterfly. We got Claire McCallum from Manta in lane 1. Alison Gauthier from BBSC in lane 2.
And out in front right now, I believe in lane 8, the far lane, is Chisholm Nachika of the Manta Swim Club. Looks like
she's looking phenomenally strong here. She's got a lot of speed, a lot of power. Looking really good.
And in lane 7 there, Emma Moderson. And she is currently 2nd. So 8 in the 7th lane. Both top 2 right now in this race. Looking at lane 1 here, gaining some good ground is Claire McCallum.
Claire McCallum from Manta making a move out in lane 1. She's looking really good. We got the middle lane here from UMan. Moving up, Liliana is making her move. Very close
Rodriguez.
Race. Let's see who's going to be holding on.
Is another close race here in the 3rd and final heat of this event specifically.
Yeah. I think it's Liliana showing her experience. Oh, she just got out touched by Emma Moderson over in lane 7. 1:11.71, 1:12.35.
And
close race.
Interesting to see that 8th lane that was occupied there by Chisholm Nachika. She ended up finishing 8th in this event after having a strong start.
Took it out a little too strong. Very excited on the first 25, and she paid for it at the end. But sometimes you got to give it a shot. You got to take a crack at it. Certainly great to see them going for it.
This is the first of 4 heats for the boys 100-meter butterfly event. There will be 4 racers coming in, and they're off.
We got 2 Marlins and 2 Manta. The battle of the top 2 swim clubs here in the province of Manitoba.
Nice start off the dive there from the swimmer in lane 3 in Tam Doan, and he is currently the leader in this race. He's going to be followed by, in 2nd place in the 5th lane, Cooper Klein, and right behind Cooper Klein in lane 6 is Moaz Kassim. Dawson Wong struggling right now in lane 4.
28.99. Very fast split here. Obviously, his best time is very, very old. Entered in 1:48. Not sure what happened here. Maybe an administrator was sleeping at the wheel, but or maybe he just hasn't done it for 5 years. But he's going to be close to a minute here. See if he can finish under 1:03 or something like that. Out in 28.99. Huge best time.
Tam Doan coming down the home stretch. A huge performance from Mr. Doan of the Manitoba Marlins Swim Club, and he finishes with a time of 1 minute 5.17 seconds.
Moaz Kassim making his move on the last 25 to finish 2nd here, ahead of Cooper Klein from the Marlins. 1:11.12 to 1:11.89.
And still finishing his
Dawson Wong.
Heat is Dawson Wong.
Buddy, that did not look good. I think we're probably going to see someone here pulling out a red card and writing up an infraction. You got to have both arms come over the water, and we saw some recovery underwater here, trying to get an extra breath in, and he will probably end up being disqualified.
And Dawson Wong actually came into this race just based on a seat time on the sheets we have here, Bo, having the best time coming in before this race, but of course not his strongest performance in this race today.
Yeah, so much can happen. Like you see, some of these kids having some of these events for years now. So much has happened during the pandemic in these past 2 years. So you're going to see some kids that have swum it recently and are close to their times, their entry times. You can see other kids that haven't done it for years and are going to drop a huge amount of time. So we got Rimso here in lane number 4 from Manta. You saw his sister in a 100 butterfly in the last heat, who was out extremely fast. Let's see if he's going to do the same thing as his sister. He's certainly going for it as well. She paid for it. Let's see if he can hang on.
Rimso Nachika with a very strong start. Like brother, like sister so far in this event for them. Strong start. Let's see if Rimso can finish it off. But they're coming back for the first time in this heat. It is Rimso Nachika in the 4th lane. In first at this point. Tough to tell who is in 2nd. It is the 3rd lane occupied by Matthew Mee, who is in 3rd. In 5th. In the 5th lane is Carson Pahura, who is currently in 2nd. But no, currently in 2nd is the
We've got Matthew Mee from Manta
in the
here.
3rd lane.
He's hanging on.
But it is Rimso Nachika.
No, he's hanging on. There's no stopping him. Yeah, he's powering on through the wall here. He's going to have a very strong swim.
In 2nd, Matthew Mee, slightly ahead of Carson Pahura right now. Pahura, who is in the 5th lane. And it is going to be Rimso Nachika coming in with a very strong time of a minute 13.86.
Carson from the Sea Lions here, making a move at the end. Oh, close race, another one. We've seen some great races here today. 7/100ths of a second separating these two. But it was Matthew Mee from Manta getting his hand on the wall. 7/100ths of a second ahead of Carson from the Sea Lions.
Nesbitt in lane 6 will finish in 5th for this race. And then Mahmoud Kassim will finish in 6th. In the 2nd of the 4 heats here for the boys 100-meter butterfly event.
You see some of these swimmers are entered with an NT. That just means no time because maybe they haven't done this event before. maybe they qualify for this meet in the breaststroke, and they get bonus swims. You qualify in one event, you get X amount of bonus swims, and you get to do the 100 butterfly. Even though you haven't done it before, you get to be entered with a no time. So that might have been his first time doing this, and hopefully we'll see him again.
And 8 swimmers will be in this heat coming up.
Yeah, it looks like we got a no-show in lane 1. Otherwise, a full heat here.
My apologies, 7 swimmers going to the pool.
So this is actually the final for the 14, 15-year-old boys. So they put them all together. The strongest 14, 15-year-old boys in one heat. The second last heat was, you're going to see the next heat is going to be the 16 and over provincial final. So that doesn't mean that a swimmer in the earlier heat cannot win a medal if they ended up going faster, but this is what we expect to be the strongest heat for the 14, 15-year-old boys. The last heat was the 11 to 13-year-olds.
Morgan Terra out in front right now with a time of 31.72 seconds. And making his move into first at this point in the 5th lane is Joe Sumner. And Joe Sumner gaining ground there on Morgan Terra.
See who's got it on the last 25. Sometimes in this particular stroke it's very tough, physically challenging. What you end up seeing is some of these swimmers at the end, they really start losing their kick, start just swimming almost vertical, but it looks like he's hanging on.
It's going to be Joe Sumner with the big win here, edging out Luc St. Laurent in the 4th lane and Morgan Terra in the 6th lane.
Yeah, Luc St. Laurent running out of real estate. Had his pool been another couple of meters long, he would have taken a gold, but he came up short. And now we're on to the final for the 16 and over.
Coming up after that will be the 50-meter breaststroke for the girls. It will be the first of 7 heats coming up after this one in that event. And we're off here. Only 5 swimmers in the pool. And it is currently in lane 4 of Alex Wang, who is in the lead.
Lane 2, Tanner Sanders from the Marlins also out to a strong start here.
And Tanner Sanders looks like he might be ahead, but it is a very close race right now. In last place right now in this heat. In lane 6 is Brett Bashon.
Keep an eye on lane number 3 as well. You've got Alexander Vicentin from the Shields here. Traditionally better on the longer events. He did take a little bit of a hiatus from swimming. Didn't train as much here during the last couple of years with the pandemic. Let's see if he's still got something left in the tank.
Neck and neck in lane 2 and lane 4 is Sanders and Wang. Sanders and Wang, going to be a close finish between these swimmers. Who's going to get it? It's Wang getting an edge on Sanders, and it looks like Alex Wang is going to take it. But not by much there, Bo. A very close finish, very exciting heat here to finish things off for the 100-meter butterfly event for the boys.
Yeah, it really looked to me like Alex Wang had this one in the bag, but Tanner Sanders, getting his hand on the wall first. Sometimes you'll see a light touch, and the time on the scoreboard is not the final official time, so it may change when we see it later on in the results. But it looked like Tanner Sanders got the gold here. Now we're on to the 50 breaststroke.
And it will be 6 swimmers, and they're off in the 50-meter breaststroke.
So here you're allowed 1 underwater pull-out. You're allowed 1 dolphin kick. They changed that rule probably about 10 years ago. Allowed the swimmers to take a 1 dolphin kick underwater before they proceed into the breaststroke.
And in lane 6, the strong performance right now is Sadie Wood. In second, it's a bit of it looks like a tie at this point in lane 5 and lane 7 between Liebrecht and Jensen. But it's looking like Sadie Wood will take this event here to start things off in this first heat out of the 7 in this event.
Yeah, dropping 13 seconds. Huge drop here for Sadie, lane number 6. And this is a full-out sprint. There's no holding back here. Everything you got right from the gun.
Coming up next, the second out of the 7 heats here for the 50-meter breaststroke in the girls category.
Yeah, you move into heat number 2 here. You got Sadie Botcher in lane number 1. She's the daughter of Rhiannon Lear, multiple-time Olympian here out of Manitoba. See what they got here.
And currently out in front in lane 4 is Sophia Heschuk.
Got a strong start from Brooke here, from the skimmers as well.
And
It's
out in front at this point. Tough to say who it is. Swimmers in lane 2, 4, and 5 with strong performances here. But it looks to be in lane 5. Marie Joyelle looks like she is going to potentially take this event. Need a strong finish here. Gonna be close.
Woof.
And it is Marie Joyelle.
11 100ths of a second separating first and second place here. A very close race.
And for Sadie Blacher in the first lane, finishing in 6th in that heat. Moving into the next heat here. So, Bo, what's your background in swimming? Did you do a lot of swimming growing up?
You know, I grew up in Denmark, and I played soccer like every young boy does in Denmark, and I tore my ACL when I was 10 years old. It told me I can swim, I can run, or I can bike. So I ended up in the pool and ended up as part of the national team later on in Denmark. I ended up with a swimming scholarship to Arizona State University, where I met my wife, who was from Winnipeg, also a swimmer. So we were down in Arizona for 5 years. We spent 5 years in Toronto after that, coaching and swimming, and then moved on to Winnipeg here. And now we got our kids involved. So
yeah, keeping that tradition going. It's great that you were able to find a passion in swimming. It seems you seem like a very passionate guy about the sport.
No, I love the sport. It's been a real tough couple of years watching what's been going on during the pandemic, trying to keep these kids motivated. Trying to argue to get the pools open and allow these kids to come back in and swim. But we're finally here, and we got a lot of work to do. But we're all working together to get these kids to the next level.
Abby Syway coming through with the win in that race. And we will be moving on to the 4th of the 7 heats here, and there will only be 3 swimmers in this heat.
So this is the 10 and under final. So that's why you only seen 3 swimmers all of a sudden. This is the best 10 and unders that we have in this event in the province of Manitoba here. And like I was saying earlier, it's a shame that we don't have more representation. But we need to have a look at these standards so we can get more of these kids involved, get them here. It's supposed to be exciting. It's supposed to be fun. These kids got a medal even before they jump in the water, as long as they don't get disqualified. But we'll see who takes what. We got Grace Metcalf in lane number 4 out for the lead here. Really strong start. Trying to duke it out with the 2 Mansa swimmers. Really, really close for second place. The only thing stopping these girls from getting a medal here is really making sure they don't get disqualified. So make sure you get your 2 hands on the wall, non-stacked, simultaneous touch. But it is Grace Metcalf out to a demanding lead, commanding lead here, but very, very close for second place.
And Metcalf here looks like, well, she is going to take it. And a big performance from Metcalf in lane number 4.
Metcalf
for second here.
Dropping another 3 seconds. Really strong swim. She's trying to make her way closer to the Mansas qualifying standards. And then we got the 2 Mansa swimmers here. It looked like we might have had a light touch in lane number 5. Sometimes these younger swimmers tend to grab the touch pads up top or something like that and don't get the time registered. That's why the timers have the red plunges you see down there. It's sort of a backup. If there's a light touch and the touch pads don't register it, we got the manual backup. So this is the 11 and 12 final.
8 swimmers will be in the pool here. And it is the 5th heat in the 50-meter breaststroke for the girls here. Starting off strong in lane 4 is Dela Cruz of UMann. And the swimmers in lane 3 and 5 having strong performances as well so far.
Great looking breaststroke from Dela Cruz. Really getting her hands out quick, getting her head down into a streamlined position.
And Dela Cruz still out in front. In second in the third lane is Gabriel Bergeron. And Gabriel Bergeron finishes in second while Dela Cruz takes the first place. Jane Korchinski, finishing in third in the fifth lane.
Got a lane one out here, outside smoke, sneaking into fourth place. Surprise move out of lane one here. Now we're on to the 13-14 final. Presumably fastest 8 13-14 swimmers.
Only two 14-year-olds in this, and I'm seeing a B next to the time here of Tia Patterson. What does that mean?
Yeah, to be honest, that escapes me right now what that B is. Yeah, to be honest, I'll have to look that up. I'll have to get back to you.
We'll have to get some clarification on that later on here as the day goes along. But they're on their way back now in the final 25 meters of this race in lane 4. Making move out into first is Ann Magnus. But right on her heels, right on her tail is Kate Horn, and it's going to be close. But it looks like Ann Magnus.
Really strong representation for the Marlins here. They're trying to clear the
Ann
podium.
Magnus taking it home, and a close swim here from the Manitoba Marlins girls.
Yeah. And the Marlins go 1, 2, 3.
4 in the top 5 in that race.
Yeah.
Very impressive stuff there from the Manitoba Marlins in that heat.
Now we're on to the 15 and over final.
Will be the final heat of this event for the girls. Coming up is the boys 50-meter breaststroke, but we're off here. And
the 3 Marlins, 2 Shields, Manta Gators. Got a lot of clubs represented here. Let's see who's going to take away the medals.
And lanes 3, 4, 5, and 6 looking very strong at this point. But it is lane 6, and that is Apres Zenin of the Manitoba Marlins out in front. Does not look like anybody is going to catch her. And a strong performance here from Apres Zenin as she takes first.
Very close for the silver and bronze here. Anyone's race? We got 1/100th of a second separating second and third here, and another 6 from fourth place. Extremely close race. All about getting your head down, getting your hand on the wall.
Moving into the boys 50-meter breaststroke event now. It is event 14 here of this weekend. And it is the first of 7 heats starting up right now. 4 swimmers will be in action. And it will be 2 Manta swimmers in here. A swimmer from the Gators and a swimmer from the Manitoba Marlins in this event.
Yeah. Looked like we had a little bit of a flicker there in lane number 5. Looks like he had maybe a slight move on the blocks. You have to stand completely still after they take your marks before they start the race. So if there's any kind of movement, that could be a disqualification. Let's see if he got away with it.
In lane number 4, Shane Paziuk out in front by a good chunk here. In lane 5, Kaylin Booth in second.
Yeah, we got very good tempo here in lane number 4.
And
keeping
what
up the stroke
a
rate.
Performance there from
huge best time, dropping 7
Shane
seconds.
Paziuk.
7 seconds is the level. It's a huge drop in the 50.
Kaylin Booth in lane number 5. Cameron Harms in lane number 6 getting third. Riley Anderson in lane number 3 getting fourth in that race. Coming up next here, the second heat of the men's breaststroke. And will be 3 Mantis swimmers in this event, 2 Manitoba Marlin swimmers, 2 Seal swimmers, and 1 SRC swimmer.
Right. Strong dive here from Logan Bezos in lane number 5. Good underwater pull out.
And Logan Bezos.
But it looks like the other swimmers have
Still
got a
leading.
little more speed once the stroke started here.
Looks like lane 4 is making a move here, Bo. It is Nesbitt in lane 4 of the Manitoba Marlins. Lane 3 now looking strong as well in Culliver.
Yeah.
Busy.
Don't forget about lane 1. Lane 1 making a move.
Lane 1 also looking good. But lane 3 right now, it's busy. Looking strong. Oh, this is going to be a close one. Lane 3 and lane 4, neck and neck. And not quite neck and neck, actually, as Nesbitt finishing with a very solid time there.
Marlins traditionally have a really strong boys program. So they're showing it off here.
What's a swim club here in Manitoba that has gotten stronger as time has gone along?
You know, I think we saw a couple of years ago that the Winnipeg Wave folded. A lot of those swimmers joined the St. James Seals. Traditionally, the Manitoba Marlins and the Manta Swim Club have been the top 2 swimmers. Manta probably number 1. But he saw St. James Seals a few years ago making a move, actually coming in and beating the Marlins at Mansask in the overall point standings by gaining some swimmers from the Wave and having a really, really strong program. They're going through a bit of a rebuild here now. New coach, a bit of a turnover and generational change there, so they've fallen back a little bit again. But keep an eye on them.
Ahmad Osman with a very strong performance here. He's looking to finish strong, but catching up just a bit in lane 6. Ian Quinn, but no, it is Ahmad Osman finding another gear here late to give himself an even bigger lead.
Yeah, dominating that field. I mean, he entered in 46 seconds and he drops a 35. Huge drop. Again, maybe he didn't swim this one event for a couple of years. He's probably grown about a foot, I would imagine, at that age. And that shows.
3 swimmers coming up here.
So this is final for the 10 and under 50 breaststroke. Again, love to see some more in here, but there's 3 of them. And actually my son is in here in lane number 5, Ronan. Let's see what he can do. He's 9 years old against a couple of 10-year-olds here. But he loves this stroke. Any chance he gets, he's swimming breaststroke.
Let's see how young Ronan does here, Bo. As he's in lane 5. Youngest swimmer, like you said, 9 years old compared to Nachika and Davidson, who are both 10-year-olds. But the event has started.
Yeah, that was good dive. Questionable pullout. A really close race so far. See if any of them can pick up the tempo here a bit.
And it looks like Ronan West does have the advantage so far in lane 5. Right behind him is Davidson in lane 4, and then right behind him is Somnato Nachika. Yeah. But it's still Ronan West out in front. Yeah. This will be a close finish here.
Yeah, let's see if they can pick up the tempo. It could be anyone's race here.
West.
Cole Davidson making a move here.
West, Davidson.
Really close race.
Neck and neck. Who will be West or Davidson? West having the advantage right now. Ronan West, 9 years old, looking for the win.
Finish. See if we can time it.
And it will be
it was Cole
Davidson.
So it's by 3/100ths of a second. Guess we shouldn't have cut his fingernails last night. That'll teach his parents a lesson here. Yeah. No, that was a great race. Good to see.
Lesson learned there, Bo. Longest fingernails as possible.
That's right. We'll have to put some fake nails on him, like his sisters. Yeah.
But great race there from the 2 10-year-olds and the 9-year-old in Ronan West.
Hopefully we get to see some more battles here. It's always fun to see them through the years. And huge jump there from lane number 5. He is out of the race, essentially. That is a clear disqualification. Sorry, buddy. You can fight in for a medal, but you're not getting it.
And in lane 5, he is having a strong performance, is Bailey Ross.
Yeah, he's He set him up about a half a second before the rest of the field here, so he should be out to a strong start. But it looks like Isaac from UMann is giving him a race for his money. Let's see who gets a hand on the wall. It doesn't really matter. It's going to be lane 4 with the gold medal. He shows up as second here, but there is no way that the officials are going to not disqualify lane 5, guaranteed.
We'll be coming up on the 6th heat here of the 7 heats in the boys breaststroke.
Yeah, this is a 14, 15-year-old final again. Like I mentioned before, Marlins built a really, really strong boys program. We got 5 of them in here. 1 human, 1 dolphin, 1 Mansa swimmer.
They are set to go, and they're off.
Let's see if anyone can spoil the Marlins party here.
And right now, on front, it is tough to tell. I believe it is lane 5 with the lead right now. Yeah. And Cooper Klein, no swimmer in lane 6.
You got Stephen Bannock from the Mansa Swim Club over in lane 8, trying to spoil the Marlins party here to see if he can sneak in for a medal. It doesn't look like it. Looks like it's going to be Marlins 1, 2, 3.
Cooper Klein with a huge performance here.
Jonah Bronson. Yeah.
And Harlem Lowe. Cooper Klein and Harlem Lowe top 2 in that. And 2 swimmers who have been mentioned a lot here as winners, I feel like, this weekend so far.
Yeah, they're cleaning up. They're having a really good, strong weekend.
And Ty Unroe has had a strong weekend for himself. He's up next. Let's see what he does here in lane 3 for the Manitoba Marlins.
This is a 16 and older final.
And Natty Vauserman also racing again. He is the only 16-year-old in this heat.
Ty with a huge dive and a huge underwater pull-out.
As Ty Unroe, who is neck and neck at this point with lane 5's Natty Vauserman. Looks to be these 2 that are going to finish this race as 1 and 2 would be Vauserman.
Look at that tempo on lane number 5. Holy smoke.
Ty Unroe right behind him, but it will in fact be Natty Vauserman taking it over.
Oh, by 1/100th of a second.
Can't get any closer than that.
No, that's as close it'll get.
How often would you say you see ties in terms of time here in the sport, Bo?
You know, you do occasionally see it, especially on the shorter events like the 50s. You sometimes see, you know, they could have been a tie for a gold medal here, and they would just have awarded 2 golds and a bronze and no silver. Yeah, but especially in these sprint events, it quite often comes down to hundredths of a second or even a tie. And if it is a tie down to the 1/100th, they just hand out 2 golds.
So what is going on in this race here? The 100-meter backstroke. It's going to be a girls' event.
So this is the para-swimming we got going on here.
Oh, the para-swimming.
This is, yeah.
Is this been a something that's been going on for a while?
Yeah, so that just split up into different categories. So you see in the heat sheet here, you see all these different numbers and letters behind the name, and that is that just categorizes them into swimmers with sort of the same disabilities or abilities, and so make sure they're trying to get a level playing field. You can have somebody who's missing a leg, somebody who's missing an arm, and they try to divide them up into different categories to make sure we got a level playing field here. So it really comes down to time more so than placement, because you could be racing somebody with a different ability here in a completely different category.
And it is lane number 4 who is having a very strong performance. In second place is lane 5. And in third place is lane 3. And lane 4 going to clean up here and get the win.
Yeah. And these referees are asked to judge them similar to able-bodied swimmers. This is a 100-meter here, so we got
Right,
another
right.
we got another
My
50.
apologies.
They're asked to judge them the same as able-bodied swimmers. So you
Yeah.
might see some of these referees thinking they're going to get disqualified, but it comes down to the head referee, and they knew the rules a lot better about what is if somebody's got one arm, you can't do a two-hand touch clearly. So some of those rules will have to be changed depending on the disability.
It is the fourth lane. I did say that she already had the win. The race is still going on, but it looks like she will be picking up the win here. The strong performance. Lane 5 in second place. Lane 3 in third place.
Yeah, these swimmers are amazing. Always amazed to see this. Really happy. Hope we get more involvement from this community.
And lane 3 looked like she was struggling there to push off to go back the other way, but she's able to.
Yeah, strong endurance. She's keep battling here. Got lane 3 entered in 3:21. Lane number 4 with 1:49.89 entered in a 2:07, so a huge drop. 18-second drop for girl in lane 4 here. Let's see what we got in lane 5. Lane 5 is entered in a 2:44. Let's see if she can come close to that time or beat her best time.
And lane 5 finishing off this race for herself. Coming in at
2:45, just missed her best time by
2:45.
1 second. She will likely be racing again in 3 weeks at the Mansask here, so this is a good time for this weekend for her. She's probably looking for a peak performance in 3 weeks. Let's see if she can shave a bit of time off in the next 3 weeks here and improve on that time.
And lane 3 still looking to finish off here.
Yeah, running out a little bit out of steam here. Really went out hard on the first 50.
And almost at the finish now, looking to finish off this race is, of course, in lane 3. And as lane 4 and lane 5 looks on, well, lane 4 looking on, watching as lane 3 comes in here. Almost at the finish. Very close. And good on these girls for giving the type of performance that they were able to. We are almost done here for this heat. So close she can almost touch the wall.
There we go.
And
important to make sure you stay on your
just
back. 4:08. A good finish here. Give them time to get out of the water.
I think one of the most painful things that can happen in swimming from personal experience and swim lessons is you don't quite see the end of the pool and you slam your head.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's why they got the flags up here. You see the Swimming Matters and Manitoba branded backstroke flags. They're 5 meters from the wall. You can also see the lane lines. The lane lines turn into red color here towards the wall, so you know you're 5 meters from the wall. And that's just simply for the backstroke and the IMers to know how far they are from the wall. So they know they're, these good swimmers, all these swimmers here, they know their stroke count right from when they see that flag. Okay, maybe I take 2 or 3 strokes. I flip over on my stomach, I do the flip turn, or maybe I got 4, 5, 6 strokes into the wall for the finish. So that's something they work on every day at all these age levels.
So we are into the second of the 8 heats here in the 100-meter backstroke for the girls. And getting set to go here, and they're off.
Good dolphin kick over in lane number 6. She stayed on the water for longer and came up ahead. She almost got to the 10-meter mark. Really strong underwater.
And
Good
keeping
job by Ava
up
from Mansa.
a good pace right now in lane number 6 is Ava Savard. Saw her racing yesterday. And, of course, she's racing again today.
We got Sadie from the Sea Lions making a move here. Good stroke rig, strong kick. Nice rotation. Look how steady she keeps her head.
Sadie Cochran.
Great technique.
With a very good performance there in the first 50 meters. She's ahead right now of Ava Savard, who is in the 6th lane. I believe in 3rd at this point, and gaining ground on that 2nd spot is Peyton Borgoin.
Yeah, we got 2 Gators battling it out here for 2nd place.
And
very close to the wall.
Strong push off the wall there from lane number 4 and Sadie Cochran.
Yeah, there's no stopping her. Got a commanding lead.
Looks
Powering
like
into the wall.
In 2nd right now is Borgoin. And looks like gaining ground on her in lane 5 is Maya Jensen, but it is going to be Sadie Cochran taking home 1st in this heat.
Yeah, just about a 2-second best time. Good swim for Sadie there.
You think it could sometimes maybe get in swimmers' head? I'm not too sure. If they are out in front and maybe they think that they have some room to coast, and then, you know, that gives opportunity for other swimmers to come in if they're finishing strong.
Yeah, and that's just the thing here. Like, they're putting the last heat together with the age group in the expected final, but if there's somebody, so you're far ahead and you're in the expected final, you're thinking you're winning, you can't let up, because there could be somebody in an earlier heat. This is a time final event. Could be somebody in an earlier heat who's actually going to sneak in and take that medal from you. So you got to power right through the wall. These swimmers know that, but you never know if it creeps in the back of the head and they ease up a bit, and they could pay for it.
No swimmers in lane 3. And we are off. It will be in 1st place right now in lane 4. It is Noella Champagne. And gaining ground on her, oh, there are quite a few swimmers that are close. And it looks like lane 5 making a bit of a move now. But that is Ariel Pattis. In lane number 4, however,
yeah, very close race.
Strong. It's Champagne. It will be close to the finish with lane 4 and lane 5. Oh no, just kidding. There still is 50 more meters.
Yeah.
But it is a very close race right now.
Yeah.
I got
very
too
close.
Excited there,
very close. very close at the first 50 here. Let's see who's got the most energy back. You always see the way they enter these heats at lane 4 is the best enter time. Then lane 5, the 3, 6, 2, 7, 1, 8. So this heat is almost a perfect example of that. Kids are swimming close to their entry times, but you see the middle lanes are out in front, and the outside lanes are a little bit further behind. We got lane 1 to hold here. Grace Metcalf from Manson moving up, trying to beat out lane 7 for 5th place in this heat. See if she can throw off that hierarchy.
In the actual home stretch there, it was Ariel Pattis edging out Noella Champagne for 1st place. And a close race between those two.
So this upcoming heat here now, the last of the sort of the unseeded heats. Keep an eye on lane number 3. That's Rosemary Bowles from the St. James Seals. She's a butterfly specialist, 200 butterflyer, good distance freestyler. Let's see what she could do in the backstroke event here.
5 16-year-olds in this heat, 1 17-year-old. It's Katie Dillon in the 5th lane. She is the oldest, and 2 15-year-olds in the 7th and 8th lane here. And in the 4th lane, to start things off strong, is Emerson Brick. And Emerson Brick still out in front, but a good push off there from lane number 7. A few lanes having good push offs, but lane number 7 in Madison Reimer.
Yeah, really strong tempo over in lane number 7. Taking no prisoners, out for the early lead here. Let's see what Emerson Brick can do. Brandon Bluefins, their pool has been closed for a couple of years. They've really been dealt a hard, tough hand here during the pandemic. Not only the pandemic and pool closure, but then when it opened up again, they just had no pool. It's been really, I feel for them. See if she can come in here.
Katie Dillon out in front on Madison Reimer. Will be the 15-year-old catching up to Dillon, or will Dillon
Yeah, Katie Dillon showing her experience here. Not going completely all out on the first 50, saving a little bit for the end, and coming in for the win here. 1:12.49. That's a big best time for her.
Is that a strategy you often see with swimmers? You know, not going as hard on the first 50 meters in a 100 race, but going, you know.
Yeah, it's a real fine line. Some swimmers are more distance-minded, and they basically got to go as hard as they can the whole way, and others that are sprinters, they got to save a little bit of the energy towards the end here. So, but some people are just better off if they go for it from the beginning and not hold back.
Is this the 10-year-old final here?
This is the 10-under final, yeah. 100 backstroke, two 10-year-old Manta swimmers side by side here. We got Addison Madden, lane 5, entered with a no time, but she's certainly holding her own. So this could be a first time swimming this event. Let's see how she does. Good turn. Did she get her toes on the wall? Hopefully she did.
And out in front in lane 5 right now is Addison Madden, leading Sintishan.
Yeah. Let's see what Michaela can do here in lane 4. Maybe she will have a better back half of the race. See what happens when they flip at a 50. Who's got the most energy left.
Both swimmers teammates, so I know they're pretty young, only 10 years old. Wonder if there's going to be any bragging rights involved in this one.
I guarantee it. I guarantee that there will. They probably train together every day side by side, so they know each other well. And hopefully they're supportive. I'm sure they are.
It
a
is
little friendly riffing is all good.
Yeah, it's all part of the sport, right? Like any sport, you got to have that friendly competition. Right?
Absolutely.
So
Keep each other on your toes. It's really close here.
it is close.
Michaela kind of botched that last turn and lost her about a body length. We'll see if she can recover from that. They were really close at the 75, but she missed her count. Like I said, you got to look at the flags, and for the 10-year-old especially, obviously this is a little bit newer to them, so they might not have that count down pat, and she's paying for that. Strong swim, but a missed turn, and it probably cost her the gold here, but
And
almost made up for it though. Wow.
Had to really give her there. She almost did, but Addison Madden a bit too strong for her teammate, and she finishes in first in her heat.
Yeah, that's one race. These girls may be swimming 7, 8, 9 races, so let's see if she get an opportunity for a revenge later on. This is the 11 and 12-year-old final coming up here. We got a full heat.
And it is the 6th heat out of the 8 heat here in the 100-meter backstroke competition for the girls. Out in front to start things off in lane 5, Naomi Rowbotham.
Yeah, she's out for the early lead, looking really strong.
And now gaining some ground on her in lane 7 is Brittany Duong, but it is still Naomi Rowbotham of the Manta Swim Club who still has the lead. But it is closer here now.
Very close. Brittany Duong from UMann out in lane 7, giving her a run for her money.
And looking at lane 4 now, it is Chloe Park, who is looking like she's going to get into that 3rd spot. Slightly behind her in lane 6 is Brooke Pelican, but making a strong push for the finish now in lane 7, Brittany Duong.
Oh, yeah, we see Naomi trying to pick it up a bit here again. Pulling a little bit of bubbles. If you look on her right hand, she's pulling it right in the surface. You want to keep that under the water. Once you start pulling air in, you're kind of losing your grip on the water, kind of losing some of your power. So that's costing her a bit. But great swim from Brittany out in lane number 7 with a 1:23.8. That was a huge best time from her.
And it will be Emily McKay in the 8th lane for the Manitoba Marlins, finishing in 8th for that heat, as you just saw. On to heat number 7 now. 8 swimmers, my apologies, will be coming up here. And a lot of 13-year-olds and 14-year-olds in this one, assuming it's the under 14 final.
That's right. This is the 13, 14-year-old final. We got a couple of SEAL swimmers in here. We got a couple of Mansa swimmers who actually joined Mansa from the SEALs a couple of years ago, so they know each other really well. We got Quinn Snively in lane 4 and Rachel Dick in lane number 1, who moved over from Mansa about 2 years ago. Let's see if they can keep up with the former teammates here. Ariana Aquero in lane number 5, really strong backstroker.
Lane 5 has been starting strong on those first 25 meters. Let's see if this time around Lane 5 can keep it up. And Ariana Arcaro of the SEALs team. And looks like through these first 50 meters, she's had no trouble with staying ahead of the pack.
No, not at all, but it's a real close for second and third here. It's anyone's race. Mila Saltel in lane number 6 battling it out with her teammate Emma Gallant. In lane number 7.
And look at Quinn Snively here on the final 25 meters here. Will be interesting. Can she catch?
Snively trying to make a move. Let's see who's got it on the last 25. Aquero was really aggressive on the first 25. She may pay for it at the end here, but it looks like she's hanging on. Quinn is a great breaststroker. You saw her in the butterfly earlier. And,
as close as ever, and it is Quinn.
It is
Snively.
Quinn with the touch. 1:15.16, 9/100s ahead of Ariana. Really, really strong finish. Great race from these two former teammates.
Into the final heat here for the 100-meter girls backstroke.
Yeah, this is the 15 and over final. Laura Winwicki, lane number 5. From a swimming family.
And no swimmer in lane 7.
Yeah, it looked like Julia Pedrosa from Mansa was a no-show. Mansa still represented by Isadora Pedrosa in lane number 3, who's out first here. Also in lane number 1, Claire McCallum. Well, Mansa still showing her colors, even with Julia being a no-show.
And out in front in lane 3, by the slimmest margins, is Isadora Pedrosa.
Coming into the wall here for the turn.
And a strong performance from Isadora at this point in lane 3, but a lot of good swimmers behind her looking to catch up.
Yeah,
Isadora.
She's looking to drop some time here. Entered in 1:14. I think she's going to be beaten that time. Coming in. Look how close it is for second place here.
And lane number 1 making some moves, Claire McCallum. And Claire McCallum here looks like she could finish strong. But in lane 5 as well, it's Lauren Witwicky. In lane 6 finishing.
Oh, it is Claire McCallum eking in for the bronze medal out of lane 1. Outside smoke. Well done, Claire. Surprising these swimmers in the middle field. I never saw her coming. And she gets in for the bronze medal.
Claire McCallum having a nice weekend for herself at this point. So we will now be moving into the boys 100-meter backstroke. And there will be 6 heats in total. This first one coming up. 7 swimmers in the pool. And they're set to get underway. Hayden Grenko. I have to think he is the favorite in this event, finishing with the best time coming in. But as you said, it is tough to tell if these swimmers have done this recently or done this about 2 years ago.
That's right. You look at Mahinda Singh over in lane 7 from the Marlins. Out of a very, very strong start. Commanding lead here to 25. He's going to blow away the field. Likely an event he hasn't done in a while, or maybe he's just a late bloomer and really come on strong this year. I don't know him, but looks like we'll be hearing more from this guy.
Mahinder Singh, believe he had a strong performance yesterday, if I can remember off the top of my head. But it is Hayden Grenko right now in the 4th lane in 2nd place, but it is all Mahinder Singh in this race right now. Mahinder Singh looking to finish strong in the final 25 meters of this race. It is Hayden Grenko as well, who's having a great performance in lane number 2.
Yeah, he just dropped about 33 seconds in his 100 backstroke, which is unheard of. He won't be doing that again, or it'll be a world record. But great to see Hayden Grenko in with a 1:18. Big best time for Hayden as well, entered in the 1:32. So great swim.
Messias Kessie coming in at 3rd in the 2nd lane. In the 5th lane was Hedges with 4th place. In 5th, Luke Stibbard in the 3rd lane. And in 6th place, Eli Kenhai in 7th place. The other swimmer in that heat. Coming up next, the 2nd heat will be 8 swimmers this time around.
Yeah, we got a full heat here in heat number 2. Let's see who can make a move. We're all entered within about 3.5, 4 seconds of each other. Let's see who's been putting in the work during the pandemic. Who's been doing the push-ups on the living room carpet.
Looks like lane number 3 might have been doing his
it
push-ups.
looks like it, yeah.
Ahmad Osman, who has already had strong performances in the events he's participated in here today, this morning.
Yeah, good dolphin kick on the water as well. Well past the flags. Couple strong kicks.
And lane number 5 occupied by Shane Paziuk of PGSC.
Yeah, it is Ahmed Osman in lane number 3. 34 at the turn here. So he's going to have a huge best time. Close for 3rd place. That's anyone's race at this point. Gator swimmer look like he's got 2nd place secured. But right now it's anyone's race for 3rd.
Looks like the 6th lane of Exalan Cheater.
Yeah, Ethan Lang as well out in lane 8. See if he can make a move, sneak in there for a surprise.
Lane 4 as well, occupied by Colever Busy. And lane 2 making some moves as well, Matthew McKay, but it's looking like lane 6 could very well take 3rd place, and that will be Cheater. Finishing in 3rd, finishing in 4th was Ahmed Osman, absolutely dominating this heat this time around.
Yeah, lots of best times across the board here. Good to see them continue to methodically shave some time off. Now we're moving into heat number 3, which is the last of the sort of unseeded age group heats. The 4 Marlin swimmers in here, a couple of U-Mans, Dolphin and Manta swimmer.
Coming in with the best seed time in lane number 4, Eric Marco, 1:17.05.
Great start by Ian Quinn here from the Marlins in lane number 3. Good reaction time. A little bit long into the turn. You have to be very careful in the backstroke turn, and you have to initiate the turn by the time you finish the pull on your stomach. So if they glide too long in the stomach, they finish that pull past their hip, and they don't initiate the turn with the head, you're looking at disqualification. He's a little bit long in there. Hopefully he gets away with it.
And disqualification for Nathan Mendoza.
Yeah, he's just a no-show.
Just a no-show.
So maybe he decided he'd rather do something else today. All these swim clubs obviously have COVID protocols. If somebody's got a cold or something, you're staying home, you're going to get tested, you're out of the water for 10 days. Most of these clubs are going by 10 days. Province might be saying 5 days, but then you're supposed to wear a mask. Since you can't do that in the water here, a lot of these clubs are saying, sorry, you can't come back till 10 days after, assuming you're symptom-free at that point. Strong finish by Ian here. Good start and good finish. 1:14.
Rylan Glore finishing in 2nd. Cameron Adamson finishing in 3rd. He was in the 6th lane. Glore in the 5th lane. And as you can see on the board there,
Well, and Glore from Manza is the older brother who swims in university in the States right now, who ended up with a scholarship. I think he might be in Texas or California or somewhere, but certainly swimming south of the border, something a lot of these swimmers are working towards, that opportunity to swim in university, either here in Canada or in the States.
What's his brother's name?
There's Braden Glore from
No,
Manza.
that's funny. You bring that up because I went to elementary school with Braden Glore.
Yeah?
Actually, it's been a while since I've heard that name.
Yeah.
But I do remember him being huge into swimming and obviously off to doing some good things, like you said.
Yeah, doing really well. I bet you wished you were going to university with him as well now, because you'd be somewhere a lot warmer than here. I can tell you that.
Yeah, it would be nice. Yeah. I mean, it's been pretty chilly here in Manitoba.
Yeah, it's been a long haul.
What's
give these kids credit for showing up in minus 45 at 5:30 in the morning to get in a cold pool. It's not easy. These kids deserve a lot of credit for hanging in there.
So obviously you were born in Denmark, went to the States for college as well, and now you're here in Winnipeg. What was that like, your first time being in Winnipeg here in the winter? Just the cold.
No, I had been warned. But to be honest, growing up in Denmark, we get a lot of rain. It's not like Vancouver. You're on the coast. You're never more than 50 kilometers from the ocean. But with that comes a lot of cloudy weather, a lot of rain, and at least in Winnipeg, you get the sunshine. It might be minus 40 outside, but at least the sun is shining. So, certain days I'll take that over the rain and the cloud and the fog.
Rimso Nachika in first place.
Rimso hanging on to first place here. Another strong swim. We saw him earlier. And he's taking another gold. This one here was the final for the 12 and 13. We didn't see any 11 and under swimmers, or 10 and under swimmers entered in this event, which is why you didn't see that final. So work to do there. Get that younger age group back on the map here. Heat number 5. We got a scratch in lane number 3. But otherwise, we got a full heat here. This is the final for the 14-15-year-old boys.
3 UMan swimmers in this heat. 2 Manitoba Marlins swimmers, as well as a SEAL team swimmer and a Manta swimmer. And in lane 8, starting off strong from the Manitoba Marlins, Tam Doan. So lane 2 as well, Devin Lusk.
Devin Lusk is out for a really strong first 25 in lane number 2. Keep an eye on him.
And he's making a move to go into first now, and he, I believe, does that. Lane 8 at this point, Tam Doan in 8th.
It is Devin out in the 31.59. Devin is breaststroke, but he's been working hard on all his strokes. Good freestyler as well. You can almost watch his feet, and it's like he's trying to sneak a breaststroke kick in there occasionally, but he's been working hard on his backstroke and having a really strong race here. He's going to take the gold medal. I don't think lane number 8 can catch him.
Into the final 25 here for Lusk and Doan. Looks like Lusk will take this one. In third in this heat at this point is Jack Coots of UMan, but it will be Lusk getting the gold.
105.
Doan with the silver, Coots with the bronze, and in fourth, Stefan Bannock.
Stephen Bannock out in lane number 1. He got his Western qualifying standard in the 200 butterfly, so we'll be seeing him in Edmonton later this year, swimming a bit of an off event in the backstrokes. He's more of a butterflyer. Great swim by Devin. So this is the 16 and over final. Got 5 swimmers here, a couple of marlins, gators, dolphins, and sea lions.
And out in front to start off in lane number 4.
Again, clearly the best underwater by Tanner Sanders there, getting past 10 meters and coming up well ahead of the field.
Tanner Sanders out ahead in front of Hunter Daly in lane number 5, finishing the first 50 meters of this heat is Tanner Sanders, followed by Hunter Daly. After that, Parker Beer in lane 6. in third place after the first 50, but keeping pace with him in lane 3, Ian Gurney. But it is Tanner Sanders, who looks like he will be taking home the gold here.
Yeah. Great distance per stroke. Got a lot higher tempo there in lane number 5. Keep it up the stroke rate, but Tanner just looks like he's getting twice as far on each pull. 105.4 for Tanner, 109.75 for Hunter Bailey.
And finishing in last there, Brett Basher.
Okay. So now we're moving on to the girls 200 freestyle next. Now we're going a longer event. We got 7 heats here, so we're in for a bit of a longer haul. But this is where the strategy comes more into play, like you were asking earlier about, and about going out fast and coming home strong. It's really going to show up in these events here. A lot more strategy, because you can't just go all out on the first 25, or you're really going to pay for it at the end.
This will be a long race, but it will be exciting to see how close these races may be in these heats. And of course, not just this morning they're swimming here, Bo, but coming up later on in the day as well.
That's right, we're back this afternoon. This meet consists of 4 sessions, 1 Friday, 2 Saturday, and 1 Sunday. Looks like we got some technical difficulties right now. Ask the swimmers just to stand back, stay warm. Could be a scoreboard issue, or could be a disqualification or something they're trying to straighten out.
Now that we have some time, you have a big passion for the sport. I assume you watch Olympic swimming. I mean, there's guys like Michael Phelps. Really, I'm not huge into swimming, so that's the biggest name I know. But give us your favorite swimmer that you like to watch out there, either male or female.
Well, Canada right now has got a number of great swimmers. Like you saw,
Penny Oleksiak.
Penny Oleksiak obviously dominated back in 2016 and coming home with a bunch of medals, and again in 2020, which ended up being 2021. You saw Summer McIntosh, who qualified for the Olympics as a 14-year-old, ended up coming 4th.
Wow. And
that was just unbelievable. So, you want to keep an eye out for that name, Summer McIntosh. Watch for that, because she's just on a whole other level. She's going to be up there. It'll be interesting to see her. We got trials coming up in early April in Victoria, where these people are going to try to make the World Championships, which are it was supposed to be held in Japan in June. It's now been moved to Budapest. Japan has some COVID concerns, so they moved the meet to Hungary. And we also have the Commonwealth Games coming up in England, so that team will be picked at trials as well.
Summer McIntosh, only 14 years old, 4th in Olympics, and she was in. That is more than impressive. Great experience for her, of course, at such a young age as well.
Yeah, and during the pandemic, her coach, Kevin Thorburn, actually passed away.
Wow.
And so that was a shock. She ended up moving to the National Training Center and continued to do really well. She was already a superstar well before going to the center, though. Really strong swim club that she was a part of. And coming up, trials here in Victoria in April. They're also picking the team for the World Junior Championships, which was supposed to be in Russia. So we'll see what happens there now. We saw the Formula One pull out of there. You saw the UEFA, the Champions League soccer, pull out of Russia. So we're waiting for word back from FINA on whether they plan on keeping it there, whether they're going to pull out and try to move it, or whether it'll just be canceled. Hopefully they'll move it. Hopefully it'll still be put on somewhere. Yeah, that's not a good situation.
Mila Neuber out in front by quite a bit here of TPRR.
Mila is from the PA Roadrunners, and she's out to a strong first 100 here. PA Roadrunners, we've seen some great swimmers come out of the PA in the past. Marilyn Chang, who's a former world champion, NCAA champion, came out of the PA and ended up swimming with Mansour in her teenage years. Was billeted here with a family, but she came out of the PA, fantastic swimmer. So they got a good history there. You got Brianna Pauls in lane number 3 from the Seals, hanging on for second place. She took a little bit of a break, but she's back at it here. Trying trying to work herself back into top form.
And it is Mila Neuber who is just absolutely demolishing this heat.
Yeah, there's no stopping her. 204 to 150 here. Going to be finishing around the 250 mark. And let's see if Brianna Pauls can hang on to that second place in this heat, or if Emily from the Marlins are going to have a little bit of gas left in the tank here and try to catch up.
And strong performance here by Neuber at this point. Of course, Brianne Powles in that third lane, having a good performance for herself as well. Trying to catch her at this point in lane 2, having the best chance at this point in time in this heat, is Emily Vervate.
Mila finishing in a 2:48, which it was about a 45-second best time, so great swim for her.
And lanes 4 and 5 finish up here with Holland Dueck.
All these swimmers dropping a ton of time. Looks like they're all working their way back into shape after this prolonged layoff, so good to see.
On to the second heat of the girls 200 meter freestyle now. Anyone that you're keeping your eye on in this heat coming up?
Well, certainly Quinn Snyler that we talked about earlier in lane number 5, really strong breaststroke. We got Callie Oliver in lane number 3. Her sister is very, very good swimmer with Manta, part of some relays when she was with Seals when she was younger that were provincial champions. So keep an eye on certainly Quinn here in lane number 5. Quinn is very good sort of a longer distances, so if she can hang on for the first 50, I expect her to finish strong.
And saw her come back earlier on in this session 2 of the provincial championships.
You saw her in the backstroke with a very strong finish here. She's next to Ava Timpug from the Seals and former teammates. So very, very close at the first 50-meter mark here. Let's see who's got the better strategy. Both looking very comfortable.
Snively and Timpug very close to each other right now.
Got Sadie Wood out in lane 1.
Making her move into third.
From the Goldfinch. Here.
But it might be tough to catch Snively and Timpug at this point.
Yeah, they're looking very strong on 110.87, 111.68 for Timpug. It'll be a battle between the two of them. Let's see who's got more left in the tanks. We come into the last 75 here. Good streamline push-ups, good turns.
It's still Snively.
Yeah.
Followed by Timpug. In third here still is Sadie Wood. Tiana Paletta trying to make a move into third, but she's still behind Wood. Making her move almost into fourth at this point in the 7th lane is Isis Fernandez. But looking at it here,
is Quinn Snively getting stronger as the race goes on, as we expected. She's got good stamina, good endurance, and really strong kick coming home here.
And it is Quinn Snively. Just another strong performance from her, this time around being the leader for the whole race, and she did not break a sweat.
We got a close race for 5th place between a couple of teammates here. Close battle for 3rd even. See who can get their hand on the wall. Anyone's race? Oh. Yeah.
And we'll have Gabrielle Leah finishing And last from the Dolphin Swim Club.
So it's interesting to see whether the 222 from Quinn Snively is going to end up throwing a wrench into the last, the expected final heat for the 14-year-old, 13, 14-year-olds. That may be a surprise medal out of an earlier heat.
Coming off on heat 3 here, and they're off. No swimmer, of course, in the second lane. They're currently out in front, as it seems like this happens very early in the race where number 4 and number 5 are out in front. This time around, number 4, Madison Reimer of the Seal Swim team, is in first place.
Yeah, good strong turn, really strong kick. She's going for it right from the beginning. Let's see if she will pay for that later, or whether she's got the training background here to back this up. She's out very fast.
Strong kick.
Braxton Case as well in lane number 3. Mostly following.
It is Madison Reimer right now with a lead.
Yeah.
But behind her in lane 3 and 5, Braxton Case in lane 3. And
Madison Campbell from the
Madison
Power Road
Campbell.
Runners as well. Making her trip down south here worthwhile. But it is Madison Reimer at 100 out in the 109.
Madison Reimer keeping good distance between her and her competitors in this race. Of course, going up against a teammate in Braxton Case, both swimming for Seal.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Braxton's going to be able to make it, but keep an eye on Madison Campbell here from the PAW. See if she's got anything left on the tank. Certainly making a move here on the third 50. Quite often you see that for swimmers that may not have to sprint finish. They make a move on the third 50 to try to gain a bit of an advantage if you don't have that drop dead finishing speed.
The top 3 looking pretty set out from the rest of the group here in this race. Lane 1 currently in 4th place in Chambers, Kennedy Chambers, but it is Madison Reimer, the story of this race so far, from the 4th lane from the Seal team. And it's looking like Madison Reimer will come away with the win. Taking second will look to be Madison Campbell. And in third, it will look to be Braxton Case, but making a strong push in that 7th lane, Katie Horn. In 5th, Kennedy Chambers in the 1st lane. And finishing off in 6th, Marley Wong. 7th, Lily Douglas in that one of those latter half lanes.
So here we are moving on to the 10 and under final. We got 2 swimmers here. Michaela Sinchitson from Mansa and Maya Booth also from Mansa.
And Maya Booth being the younger swimmer out of the 2. At 9 years old.
Both entered in no time. So they have likely never done this event before. They may have qualified in the 50 breaststroke and decided to do a 200 freestyle here. We give them credit for trying this out. Mansa usually has quite a strong middle and distance swimming program, so they're not scared to throw these kids into the deep end here and let them have a crack at it. It's great to see.
And in lane 4, who is Michaela Sinchushkin. She is out in front over Maya Booth.
Yeah, they're coming into the first 50 here.
Sinchushkin on the turn, still out in front. A nice push off the wall there from Maya Booth, but still behind by a good bit on Sinchushkin.
Yeah, hopefully the parents are either here volunteering or able to watch it on live stream. Certainly great to have this set up now that we're not allowed to have spectators. It's a shame for some of these younger kids not to have their families and cheerleading squad here, but we're happy we finally got this live streaming set up so we can enjoy it from home.
And us at ASTV Productions, happy to bring it to all the folks that are watching this potentially at home. Want to thank all our viewers for tuning in so far this weekend. We got 2 more sessions after this coming up. This is session 2 out of 4 this weekend from the Pan Am pool in Winnipeg, Manitoba. And seen some really good swimming this weekend so far, but looking at this race right now that we're calling in the 4th out of 7 heats in the 200-meter freestyle event, the under-10 championship here, final. Sinchishon in the 4th lane out in front on my booth right now.
Yeah,
Both
there's no slowing her down. She's keeping a really strong, steady pace here. We got good tempo though in lane number 5. She's really working herself into a good groove here. Nice breathing pattern, breathing every 3, bilateral. Good steady kick. She's looking good. They got them looking good, these early coaches over at Manchester Swim Club. 150 mark, 232, keeping her 50s pace under a minute. Oh, we got a bit of confusion there. Oh, just checking in with her coach to see if she's done. It looks like she's got an extra gear here, so she was happy to hear the news that she's almost done. Yeah. Kicking into another gear. And see her coming into the finish here. Maya Booth, steady as she goes.
Sinchishon coming down the stretch here. Of course, one of the 2 Manta swimmers in this race right now.
Good turns, yeah. Well, it's looking for fundamentals here. This age group, good turns, bilateral breathing, good streamline. These girls got it figured out. Very well done, 3:21. Excellent swim here from Michaela.
So, Bo, what would you say, like, as a swimming coach, would be the most important thing that you teach the kids, right off the bat when they first step into the pool?
Yeah, I mean, the basic thing is really streamline. So you get one hand over the other, squeezing your ears tight with your streamline position. It just allows you to keep that speed off the walls, because off your dive, off your turns, that's the fastest you're going to go in this race. So you want to maintain that momentum, and that's by being a streamline and reducing your drag as much as possible. And the simple thing here that for some reason a lot of kids still challenge to do is just that streamline. You see one hand on top of the other out of the off the dive here. So that's the basic thing really that it's very basic, but we still have kids that struggle with it even at a later age group. So it's the easiest thing to do to shave time off.
In lane 5 right now is neck and neck, really, between lanes 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. But it looks like lane 6 of Kate Liebrecht right now of the Dolphin Swim Club out in front. But so far here, Bo, a very close race between lanes 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah, it's really anyone's race at this point. And a lot can still happen. This is, 8 laps we're doing here. We got 5 to go, so this could be anyone's race.
Kate Liebrecht in front at this point. Right behind her in lane 5 is Dela Cruz. The first, second, and third lanes now falling behind just a bit, but in the first lane and second lane, strong performances from Safinick and Blacher at this point. Blacher. Lane number 6 occupied by Kate Liebrecht. Currently has the lead, but in lane 5, gaining on her is Aaliyah Dela Cruz.
Dela Cruz making a move. Sadie making a move out in lane 2 as well, moving up in the field. Looks like she's got the strategy down here to try to make a move on the second 100, or third 50 at least.
Out in front by just about a hair. Oh, it's pretty much tied, pretty much mirroring each other. Lane 5 and Dela Cruz, lane 6 and Liebrecht trying to match them. In lane 3, Or in lane 2, and Sadie Blacher, who's gonna get the gold?
Oh no, we got another 50 here, buddy.
Another 50 meters. Man, I'm too excited. Too excited.
No, it's anyone's race here.
Anyone's race.
Anyone's race. We'll see who can hang on. Sadie is really trying to hang on to it here. See if she can get her kick going. Who's got legs left on the last 25? It's still anyone's race. Sometimes these younger swimmers all of a sudden come out of nowhere in the last 25, but it looks like it is Sadie. Sadie's hanging on, holding off the Bison swimmer.
And this is the actual home stretch of the race now. Looks like Sadie Blacher could end up getting the gold here. Finally, we're done. And this time around, we do claim a champion for this heat. And it will go to...
Well, the lane 4... Obviously, the scoreboard is incorrect here, so that swimmer is not done yet. So it shows up as a first place, but that is incorrect. It might have been a double touch or something there. But it was Sadie coming in for that lead swim. So good for her to take home the gold.
Coming up on the 6th heat here. And then coming up after these next 2 heats, because there will be a 7th heat in this 200-meter freestyle event, it will be the first of 6 heats starting up for the boys' 200-meter freestyle.
That's right. This is the expected final here for the 13, 14-year-old girls, and this is where it gets interesting to see where the Quinn Snively's time from earlier in this event, back in heat number 2. I believe she was a 2:22. I don't have that exact time on me, but let's see if that is going to hold up or whether some of these girls are going to sneak in ahead of that.
In lane 3, Ariana Arcaro, who had a strong performance earlier on. Lane 8 making some strides, as well as lane 4, but looking at lane 8, it is Fernandez, the Manitoba Marlins Swim Club. In lane 4, Charlotte Sage had a strong performance earlier as well, and she is currently in first place.
The time we're looking for here is 2:22.45, which is the fastest time so far in this event from Quinn Snively. Let's see if that's going to hold up.
And right now in front is, in lane 4, Charlotte Sage of the Manta Swim Club.
Yes.
And following just behind her, it is looking like lane 5 and Mari Joyelle.
Yes. Coming in at a 1:09.72. It's going to be very, very close for her to try to beat her teammate from earlier on today.
And out in front by some good spacing now is in lane number 4, Charlotte Sage. In second place is Mari Joyelle. Lane 1 here in last place for Rachel Dick.
And Charlotte really has to race the clock here with her invisible teammate, and that 50 put her a little bit behind. So let's see, you can't just look around your teammate here and think you got it in the bag. No, you're racing Quinn Snively from the earlier heat, and 2:22.45. I think it's going to hold up. So I think we're going to end up with a surprise gold medal from heat number 2 instead from heat number 6 here.
Charlotte Sage.
Charlotte in 2:25.
Finishing strong. In second is Mari Joyelle. In third place, not too sure who finished third place there. The board a bit.
We got a tie. We got a tie for second.
Oh, a tie for second.
Which is really interesting because that likely becomes a tie for third. So hopefully they bought some extra spare medals here, or they're going to run out. Yeah.
So many good swimmers out here, not enough medals to give out here today.
Yeah.
But we are into the 7th heat now, the final heat of this girls 200-meter freestyle event.
Yeah, it's the final heat for the 15 and over. We got a couple of branded bluefins in here. Let's see if these swimmers found alternate ways of staying in shape during their extended lockdown. Let's see if they can hang on in the 200 here. Looks like we got Marlins out in the early lead.
Appraise Zenon currently in first off of those first 50 meters into the next 50. Meaning we got about 6 laps to go here in this race.
That's right. The action is sort of in the middle of the lane here, in the middle of the pool. Lane 2 is out there as well.
Lane 2 looking strong right now of Gardano.
We got lane number 7 is Susan from Manta, who's hanging in there still. She's got a lot of speed, a lot of upfront speed. Let's see if she can hang on. She may drop back a bit.
Miriam Gardano currently in first place for the moment, but it's lane 6 with a strong performance still. And Appraise Zenon, now it is in lane 2, Miriam Gardano, who has the, it's tough to tell. Looks like she has a slight advantage though on Appraise Zenon.
Yeah, she's looking strong, good steady kick. Taking a couple of peeks over on her competition into the turn. Got a 50 to go here. Still anyone's race. Looks like Abby DeBellin is kicking in the gears here. Strong kick. See if she can catch up to the Marlin girl in lane number 6.
Abby DeBellin.
Abby DeBellin really making a move
4,
here.
Making a move. It depends if she can get a strong push. She does. DeBellin
she's
trying to catch the girls in front of her, who is Appraise Zenon in lane 6.
Wow.
And Gardano in lane 2.
Miriam
it's
hanging
gonna
on.
Be a close one.
It is anyone's
is
race with 3 meters to go.
It will be interesting to see Appraise Zenon coming away with the victory. Gardano in second in lane 2, and Abby DeBellin finishing strong, coming away with third place in this
really this is really the best race of the day here. 3 girls in this 200 within half a second, and Abby DeBellin coming in third, just running out of real estate. She was way behind at the 150. Really, really strong 50, but just ran out of water. Now we're on to the final event of the morning, the boys 200 freestyle.
The final 6 heats of this second session of the Manitoba Junior 22 Provincial Championships. The 2022 Manitoba Junior Provincial Championships, or Provincials as I should say.
They've actually combined a heat. It looks like heat number 3 was supposed to be Cole Davidson. What they've done here, they put him in lane number 8 in the first heat. So Cole is the 10 and under swimmer. So he's the only 10 and under swimmer in this event. So rather than having him swim by himself, they're putting him over in lane 8 there. But assuming he doesn't get disqualified, he's going to walk away with a gold medal.
In lane number 3, in the lead at this point is Andre Barnaby. And looking at it here, Bo, all swimmers but one, except for Cameron Harms, who is from the Manitoba Marlins Swim Club. All Manta swimmers.
All Manta swimmers, and quite often you see that here in Manitoba, and some of the middle distance and distance event is Manta is really, really strong. We talked about the Marlins having some really good boys earlier on, especially in some of the shorter distances, but Manta tends to dominate when it comes to the distance events. Not that 200 is a distance event, but for this age group, it is a long race. So that's something Manta prides themselves on, and we got all of them in the lead here. And Marlin swimmer is losing his cap, trying to hang on to the race. Cole Davidson, the 10-year-old over in lane 8, really making a name for himself. Make sure that he touches the wall at every turn, and then he's got the gold in his pocket.
Currently, Andre Barnaby in the third lane has a slight advantage over Quan Lee, but it's looking like they're neck and neck, these two swimmers in lane 3 and lane 4. So what has to happen here for Cole Davidson to get the gold?
Really nothing. Like, I mean, in the freestyle event, as long as you don't false start, you can't pull on the lane line. You can't jump off the bottom. But as long as other than that, you can really do anything because it is freestyle. So if he decides to swim breaststroke or backstroke, he could do so. Since he's the only 10 and under in this event, he's going to get the gold. So as long as he touches the wall at every turn here, there's not much else he can do to. But it's close. He's cutting it close. It's making me nervous.
In lane 4, it is Quan Lee leading this race at this point. Right behind him is Andre Barnaby, of course. 6 of these swimmers out of the 7 in this race are teammates. And for Cameron Harms, unfortunate for him, he ended up losing a swimming cap earlier on.
Yeah, he's going to have to go fishing when the race is over here and go pull that out of the water so the next heat doesn't inadvertently run into that. But it looks like lane number 4, Quang Lee is taking over a commanding lead here going into the final lap.
Andre Barnaby behind Quan Lee as Lee is in lane 4. And really it hasn't even been a close race between the rest of the pack, but it was Quan Lee coming out with the win in this one. In second, Andre Barnaby. In third is Mahmoud Kassim. In fourth, Andre Gruwal. In fifth, Cole Davidson. In sixth, Kalen Booth. And coming in seventh is going to be the lone Manitoba Marlins swimmer in this heat, Cameron Harms.
Yeah, and it might not have looked close, but when you combine all the heats at the end in the standings, there may be somebody from a different heat who's the same age as you, and that could be a lot closer to you. So it's important for these swimmers not just to race who's in the heat with you, but to race the clock.
So looking at our sheet here, there's no racers lined up in this third heat that's on the paper, so is there only going to be 5 heats here coming up?
That's right, yeah. So that's when they took Cole Davidson out and put him in the first heat, just to save a bit of time and giving him somebody to race other than just the clock.
Well, 4 heats left here in this second session of the 2022 Manitoba Junior Provincials. And right now it's lane 4 and lane 5. Lane 1 making a move as well. That's Elliot Boucher in lane 1. But currently right now in the 4th lane, it is Nathan Mendoza who has the lead. The first 50 in the books, 150 meters to go in this race. Nathan Mendoza out in front. Still keeping up strong. Falling behind a bit in the first lane, Elliot Boucher. In second place at this point in the 6th lane, Felizati.
A couple of U-Man swimmers trying to hang in there. See if they can close that gap here in the third 50.
And look at this swim here, this race from Nathan Mendoza cleaning up at this point. Looking very strong. In second place in lane 6 is Felizati.
Yeah, very strong stroke here coming into the final 50.
Still lane 6 in second place in Felizati. In first place, however, it is in the 4th lane, Nathan Mendoza.
You watch his breathing right here in lane number 4. Just barely getting one goggle out of the water. Only turning ahead just enough to get that breath in. You see a lot of swimmers, they almost turn their head so far and look up at the ceiling, and it's really not helping. It's really a waste of time.
That helps with your momentum, I'm assuming.
That's right. You keep your head, get your head back down, get it back into streamlined position. Take that quick breath. Don't turn your head more than you need to. Sort of getting out of your body position.
Well, it sure did work out, that type of technique for Nathan Mendoza as he finishes first. And it was a pretty dominant victory, winning by about 7 seconds right on the nose. Or no, about 6 seconds.
Yeah, he took about 11 seconds off, so very strong performance from him. And Luke Stippard from Mansa, wrapping up the field here, 11 years old, second youngest competitor in this field. Good swim.
It's the 4th heat, which is really the 3rd heat out of these 5 remaining.
This is the 12, 13-year-old final. We got Rimso, again from Mansa here in lane 4. We've seen him a few times, having a very good meet.
Matthew Mee from Manta as well in this race, and Noah Cambly and Van Den Heaver.
Van Den Heaver's got a couple of older siblings as well on this swim team. At least one.
And this is a close race so far. Lane 6 has the slight advantage, but not by much. It's Matthew Mee. Other swimmers gaining on him. And it's going to look like lane 5 of Carson Pahura out in front to start things off. Rimso Nachika.
Very close rates.
Now steps
top 5
into
swimmers
first.
here. Top 5 swimmers here all are turning at 34 seconds. So it's see who's going to separate themselves from the pack.
Rimso Nachika.
Looks like Rimso is making his move towards the middle of the race here.
He's really looked impressive today. What, in your opinion, impresses you the most about Rimso as a swimmer?
Well, just look at his head position here. Really keeping it down. Good streamline position. Long, smooth stroke. 3, 4, 5 dolphin kicks off the walls. He doesn't just pop back up. Stuff that may not help him today, but certainly is going to pay dividends down the road as he keeps improving on that dolphin kick. Really smooth swimmer.
Really nice form by Rimso at this point. But right behind him in lane 3 is Logan Basis. And in lane 5 is Carson Pahura. And in lane 6, having a good race so far, is Matthew Mee as well.
Yeah, lane 7 up there, trying to battle in for the silver medal here. Looks like Rimso is going to take the gold, but the silver right now, bronze is anyone's medal. He's getting stronger as the race goes on.
Rimso Nachika out in front, in second. Logan Basis in 5th. In the 5th lane, Carson Pahura.
Logan Basis giving it everything he's got. He's not letting go of that silver medal.
It's going to be Nachika here.
All right,
and
great
who
swim.
will get second? It's looking like it will be Logan Basis. And Logan Basis getting the silver. Carson Pahura,
he's happy with that. Logan fist pumping here. Excited about that silver medal. Very good time for him, taking 9 seconds off. Great swim. On to the 14, 15-year-old final.
Anybody in particular you're looking at in this race to take it home?
Oh, Joe Sumner in lane number 4 from Manta. He's going in, obviously he's a favorite here. 3 seconds faster than the second swimmer based on the entry time, but you know, at this stage, based on what these kids have been through and the lack of options and competitions the last 2 years, you really don't know. We just don't have a lot of recent history, so this could be anyone's race.
And some nice dives there to start off.
Oh, Devin Lusk, lane 8. I didn't even see him in the program here. Outside smoke. There. He is going for it. Taking no prisoners.
And Devin Lusk really turning it on here. And he is currently ahead by quite a bit.
28-1 out of lane 8, outside smoke. There is no stopping him.
In second, seems like it's close between lane 7 and Moaz Kessim, and in lane 5 in Drew Culleton. Or no, in lane 4 of Joe Sumner. My bad.
And Devin Lusk turning it under a minute, 59-28. Great split. Coach is getting excited on the sideline here, pacing up and down. We're not allowed yelling, but under normal circumstances, without the mask, you'd probably be screaming at him.
Joe Sumner in second place, but it is the story of this heat, particularly in Devin Lusk, who is absolutely dominating, maybe having the most dominant performance of the day so far.
Yeah, out of lane 8. That's just reminiscent of the 1996 Olympic Games with the Hungarian Attila Sinin winning the Olympic gold medal out of the outside lane. Devin Lusk taking no prisoners here. Joe Sumner having a good swim as well.
Joe Sumner,
see if he can hold on.
Looking to hold on for that second place spot. And lane 7, Moaz Kassim, who is right behind him. And it will be Devin Lusk with an impressive time.
2:05.
Can Sumner finish it off in second? He does. In third, Jacob Bell. In fourth, Moaz Kassim. In fifth, Morgan Terra. In sixth, in lane 1, Jack Coots. And Drew Culleton finishing in last.
Strong swim from Jacob Bell here as well. Yeah, we'll be seeing more to Devin Lusk here in a few weeks at the Mansas Championship right here in Winnipeg.
Of course.
That's going to be a prelim and finals event. So prelims are going to be here in the training tank as well as in the main tank, and finals are going to be all in the main tank at night. So and spectators hopefully should be allowed. There should be a little more excitement.
Will be great for ASTV Productions to be there to bring all the coverage.
Yeah, we'd love to have you, especially when we got swimmers traveling in from across the country. Hopefully, we'll if families can't join them, it'd be great to have live streaming.
It's the final event now in session 2 of the 2022 Manitoba Junior Provincials from Pan Am Pool in Winnipeg, Manitoba. And it is Alex Wang at this point of Manta Swim Club with a strong performance to start off in the first 50 meters.
Yeah, this is a 16 and over final. Alex Wang out with a commanding lead. Stroke rate slowing down a bit. Let's see if he can hang on to it. He built himself quite a cushion here.
Alex Wang out in front. In second, in lane 4 is Hunter Daly. But right on his heels of Daly is in lane 6 of Brett Vashon. But making moves on the 6th lane is LeBlanc.
Alex Wang with a 3.5 second lead here. He has picked up the tempo again, trying to make his move on the third 50. There's no catching him. Hunter Daly trying to separate himself from lane 3 and lane 6 on this third 50. Try to give himself a little bit of breathing room for the last 50.
It's been all Alex Wang so far in this final heat of this event here. The 200-meter freestyle boys event, which is the 18th event of the weekend so far. The final event of session 2. Of course, ASTV Productions will be here back later on in the day to bring you guys, all the viewers at home, session 3 from Pan Am Pool.
Alex Wang and not slowing down. Powering through, putting his head down. Look at that.
Here's Alex Wang finishing strong.
Great to see. He's listening to his coach. He didn't take a breath on the last 10 meters. Because the oxygen you're taking that point really just for your own comfort level. It's not going to get to your muscles in time. Or if you don't need it, if you can live without it, put your head down, get your head on the wall, get your hand on the wall, finish.
Hunter Daly in the 4th lane finishing in second. In third, in the 3rd lane, Brett Vashon And in 6th was Alexander LeBlanc of the Gold Flins Swim Club.
Okay. Well, that wraps it up. Gentlemen, I appreciate you guys having me.
Of course, it was great
Thanks
to
for
have
the
you
guest
on.
appearance
And of
and,
course, it was great to have you on, Bo, and all your insight that you gave us here today, helping us out quite a bit.
Yeah, my pleasure. We'll see if we got other guest appearances lined up for the rest of the weekend. If not, I'm around, so I'll be happy to join you. This was fun, and we got 2 more sessions to go.
Sounds good, and would love to have you back on, Bo. And for myself, Graham Forsyth, and Bo here on ASTV Productions, we will be back for session 3 here later on in the day, around 4 o'clock, or just after 4 o'clock, for session 3 for the 2022 Manitoba Junior Provincials. You were watching swimming here on ASTV Productions from the Pan Am Pool in Winnipeg, Manitoba. For Graham Forsyth and everyone else here.